Hey, welcome back. It's Don again. Well, once again, my plan has been upset. So here was the plan for this evening. I was just planning on backing the car out in the driveway, sliding the Jeep over in the middle of the garage where I could get kind of all the way around it, and then just go through and look everything over and see if I needed to do anything else before I get my final coat of primer on the thing. My dilemma is that there's this big black thing up in the sky, which we haven't seen around here for months, but it looks like water and or frozen water in the form of maybe that stuff called hail is getting ready to fall out of the sky. And historically, I'm a hail magnet. So I'd rather not have the M get caught in a hailstorm. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to err on the side of safety. I'm going to leave the car in the garage. I'm going to do other stuff. But I do want to bust open my box. I got the box in here from Eastwood.com, and I learned one thing I'm going to tell you about, but I'll come back in just a second. I'm going to bring you totally up to speed on that Eastwood part of this thing. Okay, well, so here's the deal. I learned how to game the system, at least with Federal Express. So you remember the last time I bought some stuff from Eastwood, I had my package of little line clamps, and I ordered it from Eastwood.com, and I just selected their basic shipping method. So what it turns out that is Federal Express seems to have this service where they'll put something on the truck, they'll move it from the originating city to the destination city, and then they lose it for 3 weeks. My box of clamps was driving around Salt Lake. It was on a trailer, it was off a trailer, it was at this place, it was at that place. It was a crazy thing. So what I figured out was this. When you're ordering from somebody like Eastwood.com, pay attention to the shipping. Pay a little extra. That's what I did with this one. I paid for Federal Express ground, which kept it on the ground. Who knew that'd be the fastest way to get it here, was put it on the ground. But I got it. I ordered it last Friday, I believe. Today's Thursday. 4 days made it here. So let's bust this thing open and look at our seam sealer, because that's a new thing to me. One of you told me about it, so thank you very much. And I'm sure it's going to look a lot like, sure enough, it looks a lot like my can of caulking that I got from Home Depot. So probably all this stuff probably comes out of the exact same factory. Probably just this great big machine is squishing it into the tubes, and every so often they just change the tube, and us consumers don't know any different, and we're buying the same stuff. Could be, I might be on something. So I bought a few tubes of seam sealer. I bought this gadget for spraying my spray cans. So now instead of just my poor little index finger getting all tired after doing a whole spray can, you clip the can in here somehow and use it like a sprayer. So I'll show you how that works. And then I got some primer. Oh, hold on a second. What the heck is that? So, yeah. I bought some primer, that two-part primer. I hope that's what's in this can. It looks like the label just came off of this can. It's not in there. So, I've never seen that before. A mystery can of paint. So I'm sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm sure it's the same thing. I got the right quantity, and probably I'll bet what's been happening is some dude at the factory lost the label off this can. I was like, I think this is primer. The next time somebody orders just primer, we'll stick this in the box, and then they'll just deal with it because they'll know that it's what they think they are. But that isn't that interesting. That's a first for me. Can of paint with no label on. You know, this reminds me of back in the old days when we used to have cans of beans and cans of soup and stuff, and Campbell's used to have the paper label around the outside, and you'd pack them all up when you were going camping, and they'd fall in the cooler and they'd get all wet and the labels would come off. And then after that, it was like a mystery meal every time you opened one of those cans because you couldn't, you know, see what was in there. So, wow, that's interesting. So, a mystery can of paint. Probably it will be a good idea to spray a little of this on some cardboard before I really tear into it down the side of the Jeep. But anyway, here's our takeaway is pay a little extra for the freight, and then you'll actually get the stuff, and be flexible. When they send you a can with no labels on it, we'll just deal with it. So there you go. Now I'm going to tear into this front end and get the pumpkin cover off while I don't have my tie rod in there. So can't really do any painting tonight. So let's go do a little mechanicking on the front end, shall we? right, well, if we stand back here, we look pretty good. If we get up a little closer, we look all right. If we pan down fast, we look okay. However, there are one or two little spots that, right there, for instance, let's see if you can see that. I can see it, I'm sure, like I can see it. That line right there, that's not supposed to be there. Okay, well, I'm pretty much done. And I say that with a little caveat. I found a couple of spots. So there was a spot right down here in the bottom where there was a few of those little surface holes. My little low spot there had a edge. I found a couple other little holes when I was looking really close. I got like, seriously, 6 square inches of sanding left to do. And that's it. And then I'm stopping because at this point, this is insanity. So let me get that done. And I'll probably shoot a little bit more primer. I have the bottom part of the hood where it's been down too close to the ground. Let me just show you here. You can kind of see that this area right in here, it's not really got a very good coat of primer on it, and this back edge I'll do as well. So I just laid it down, and I'll start my can here so that I can keep that angle as minimal as possible, and then by the time I get over there I'll be shooting straight up again. Now, real quick, was the $7 spray can doohickey worth it? Yeah, absolutely, but it does have one little character flaw here. So right up here at the top, right there, there's kind of a little bit of a lip, and as the paint is spraying that big wide fan out, which we're a fan of the fan, don't get me wrong, but it starts to build up there and then starts to spray a couple little drops of kind of liquid paint. So you saw me probably carrying a little rag in my hand. So what I did is I just carried a little paper towel, and every so often I just wipe that thing out. So other than that, it's perfect. It works great, and it sure is better than just using your index finger. I might try messing around with that a little bit and see if I could carve a little of the plastic out of there where that fan of spray is hitting it. But other than that, it worked really good. So all in all, definitely worth the $7, I think it was, from Eastwood.com. And it's the Can Gun one is what it's called. So if you don't have one of those, I'd say get it, it's worth it. Okay, I'm gonna go do my fanatical sanding over on the other side for a minute, and then slap a little tiny coat of paint on that, and then I'll be done. I promise I'll be done. I will be done messing with this tub, and I will get to something else. Okay, folks, I got it finally. So after a couple of false starts and false endings where I thought I was done, and then I kept finding little bad spots, I've looked this thing over really close. I can't find a single thing that I can't live with now. So we're officially done with this tub. We're officially done with this episode. I'll see you next time around. Thanks for watching.